Well, for more on this, let's go to Pietro Paganini in Rome. He's an adjunct professor of business administration at Temple University in Philadelphia and John Cabot University in Rome. He's also the co-founder of sustainable development think tank Competere. Welcome to Money Talks, Pietro. Now, as we know, tens of thousands of people have died from COVID-19 in Europe alone. People are continuing to die from the disease. Is now the right time for countries like Austria, Denmark, Italy and Spain to be reopening their economies?
Oh, well, that's a question that unfortunately we can only answer when we see facts. And luckily, I'm not at the government to take such a tough decision. But, if I look at the Italian government as well as the Spanish government, they are under a tremendous pressure. On one side, there are still numbers that are better and brighter. But on the other side, you also have, big businesses, small businesses, and you have an incredible amount of workers that, they work in the black economy and they need to get back because they don't have a salary right now. And businesses are not making money. And then they complain that other parts of Europe are working. So these are main competitors. So the government was under pressure, and this decision to reopen is a sort of in between. The government is trying to, but at the same time is also trying not to. And we'll see the results in the coming days.
We also know that the EU, Eurozone finance ministers, have really been struggling to come up with a significant coordinated response to this outbreak. The wealthier nations in the north of Europe are very reluctant to give money or even loans to those in the south. Should the Eurozone, should the EU be doing more to help the poorer nations who are suffering through this?
Well, every nation has its own economy. If you look at Italy, is a very much split country in two parts: a strong economy in the north and the slower economy in the south. And here there is a battle on how Europe should be ruled and what are the tools and instruments that Europe should take. And there are different approaches. I primarily support the Eurobonds because I think Europe is in the condition to do these Eurobonds. But, in the Nordic countries, they fear that the too many risks in the south or in the incapacity of the south to take strong managerial decision in managing public finance might cost a lot to them. So it's going to be a very long discussion. And I think in a way, Europe is a young project. And it might take so much time. On the other side, you have the COVID-19 today, and families, people, pensioners, retired people, young kids. We're forgetting young kids. They need answers right now.
That's right. Now, the economic pressure that's being felt by Europe was highlighted in the IMF's latest World Economic Outlook. It says that the Eurozone will be one of the hardest hit economically and will most likely suffer a 7.5% contraction this year. That's a huge amount, isn't it? How quickly can Europe rebound from this contraction?
Well, it depends on the country. I'm sorry, I can't give you the right answer. If I look at Italy and Spain, it might take some time, considering the Italian economy was already slow, very slow, close to zero. We were aiming at a 1%. And it very much depends on how this coming back or going back process is going to last. If I look at some rumors and intelligence information we got exactly today, this process is going to be very slow. So, we would dream and expect that tomorrow everything is open and I can go back to my restaurant, have a good meal and go dancing and buying a lot of things in shops. The reality is this process will be extremely, extremely long. We're talking over a year if, things go smoothly. So the economy will be slow. On the other side, we saw that today some businesses went back, and I'm not just talking about shops. I'm talking about mechanic industry, primary sector, and this is a good news. The question is the virus coming back? Is the virus still here? Is it such a step that we should have not taken? That's unfortunately a question that we will be able to answer, in the next days.
Okay, Pietro Paganini in Rome, thank you so much for joining us on Money Talks.
Thank you indeed.